I say this as someone who's lived in California for decades and somebody who grew up on the East Coast. To everybody on the coast, Tennessee is a mega state with some of the best universities in the country, big, thriving cities. Nashville is an American mega city. This is a giant economy in the world, in the country. And this is a backwards, ignorant, know nothing who's the United States senator that you're challenging. And I'd just like you to talk about her from the prism of, wow, this is one of 100 people in the world making life and death votes and decisions about our national security, and how far afield she has gone from the tradition of moderation in Tennessee and the tradition of common sense in Tennessee.
Oh, absolutely. She's just nowhere close to where the average Tennessean is. Because, I mean, she has been in DC for 21 years and, like you say, hasn't learned a thing. That's one thing I hear a lot from the Republicans. She's been there 21 years, has the same talking points, and hasn't done a thing. And she doesn't talk to the people either. She hasn't had a town hall in 7.5 years. The last one she had was pretty disastrous. And so on this tour, I'm going to all 95 counties. My tour dates are posted on my website. Anyone who wants to show up can show up and ask questions and talk with us. And she's had only closed door meetings with county officials that I have heard of. There was one event she was supposed to do a couple of weeks ago that was publicized with Republicans at a VFW hall. And she didn't show up for that. That's the only one I know that was actually out published at all where people could come. And she didn't show up, and they said she had strep throat. So I don't know where she is. I don't know what she's doing, but she's not talking to the people. And yesterday I was in 4 different counties. I started in Overton County, then I went to White County, and then Cannon County, and then Rutherford County, and talked to well over 100 people yesterday in all of those counties about the things that concern them and about the things that they care about. And she just hasn't been seen. Like you say, she's in a bubble. I find that with my colleagues and my Republican colleagues in the legislature. I think they go to Republican meetings in church, and that's it. My whole day, I talk to Republicans all day long because I live in East Tennessee. If I'm talking to my family, or if I'm talking to folks in East Tennessee, I'm spending a lot of my time talking to Republicans. So I listen to people. I want to listen to what people have to say. But here's the interesting thing. They want to paint me as this extremist. But the reality is 80% of Tennesseans, urban, rural, and suburban, want to do something about gun sense legislation. They want universal background checks. They want safe storage laws, and they want red flag laws. 80% of Tennesseans agree on that. Used to, you couldn't talk about guns in Tennessee, but now you better talk about gun sense legislation. And then with women, with abortion, the same thing. 80% of people in Tennessee, urban, rural, suburban, all parties want abortion care at some level. We don't all agree on where the line may be, but 80% want that care at some level, and she does not. And neither do the supermajority in the state legislature. They are the extremists. 81% want cannabis, medical cannabis. 60% want recreational cannabis. They won't even discuss it. Marsha Blackburn gets more money from the NRA than I think anybody, certainly from Tennessee ever did, but she's one of the top receivers of those dollars. She also voted against capping insulin at $35 in the state with one of the highest numbers of diabetics per capita. She voted against negotiating drug prices for seniors. Tennesseans have not expanded Medicaid. People are struggling with their health care. She voted to repeal the ACA multiple times. She is the extremist. She is not on board. And she is not even trying, it seems, to get out and talk to the regular folks that she's supposed to represent. She lies consistently, makes horrible, bigoted statements with no facts whatsoever to back it up. Somebody said, Gloria, you need to counter every one of her lies. I said, good grief, we'd have to add 3 people to our staff. I mean, it's remarkable. I talk to people, oh, politicians lie. We should not expect expect politicians to lie, our elected officials to lie. We should be held to a higher standard of telling the truth, having integrity, and being transparent about what we're doing. But in Tennessee, man, they want to do everything behind closed doors.
Will she debate you?
Well, that's the question. Our primary is August 1st. So we will see after the primary if she is going to debate me. And certainly we're going to be asking for debates. We will drag her if she won't debate, because it has to be done. She should be able to get before the people and answer some tough questions. I'm ready to do it. She's been there 21 years. If she can't answer these questions, she doesn't need to be there. I say that all the time about the State House where I serve. And when we had orientation, the leader of the Republican Party actually told us, well, you can use your badge to get into the secret hallways, so you don't have to talk to press and constituents who are in the hallways if you don't want to. And all I could think was, I'm not using some secret hallway, lurking around behind the scenes. I came there. I was elected by the people. They need to know what I'm doing. I need to talk about what I'm bringing, the legislation I'm bringing. I need to answer questions about it. And how are they going to know what I'm doing if I refuse to talk to the press or if I refuse to talk to constituents? It's remarkable to me that everything they want to do, they want to hide from the press and they want to hide from the people. And I guess if I had the policy and brought the policy they did, I'd want to hide too. But we should expect our elected officials to be upfront, to answer questions, and be transparent about what they are doing.
Representative Johnson, have you ever used the secret passage? I would use it all the time. I would still talk to the people, but I would use it all the time.
I've shown it to people, and I one time there was a voucher vote, and there was somebody back in those hallways pulling the strings. So I went back to see who was pulling the strings.
I would do a hybrid approach. I'm Steve Schmidt. This is The Warning, and I invite you to subscribe on our Substack, on our YouTube channel. Follow us. Welcome to the community.